Look, you're not alone in thinking, why can't Windows laptops be as good, as solid as the MacBooks? And for Windows users, it's like you have all the money, but you still can't get the goodness of that freshly bitten, red, bloody fruit just because it does not run Windows and you obviously rely on Windows. But wait, hang on. This right here, this is the latest Microsoft Surface Book, and this has got me feeling all, get it? It's like Microsoft looked at Apple and they're like, okay, so that's how you do it. Because this is what you would get if Apple made a Windows laptop. But the real question is, with that remarkable design, can it truly and irrevocably replace my MacBook Air M4? Is this the one? Alright, so let's start with the unboxing first because I want you guys to see this. So yeah, the Surface Book 7th edition comes in this super minimalistic box, which also kind of matches the minimal accessories inside, as you can see. Like I said, very Apple-like. Anyway, you get this power plug and the charging adapter that has, wait, hang on. Is that MagSafe? No, you're getting it wrong. It's the Microsoft Connect port. Yeah, more on that later. You also get some paperwork that I'll never ever read. And then there's this. This is beautiful. Full aluminum body, those rounded corners, it just feels premium. And it's not the lightest thing at 1.6 kgs, but it feels incredibly balanced. The only design L, the lid has no cutout or indent. So good luck trying to do that cool one-handed laptop open. Now once you open up the laptop, you get this greyish keyboard, not my favorite color, but the feel, the typing experience is fantastic. I mean, the keys are nicely spaced out, there's great key travel, all the shortcuts you need, it's as good as a MacBook keyboard. Not something you can say for many Windows laptops. But you know what, the real star, the real showstopper has to be this haptic touchpad. I mean, the size is good, but the clicks, they are so crisp, has some very strong vibrations, which I always love. And I'm just gonna say, don't cancel me, the haptic feedback feels tighter and maybe even better than even the MacBook Pro. I mean, I honestly wish that every Windows laptop in the world just goes ahead and copies this great trackpad. Just do it already. Now you'll notice that there's no fingerprint scanner, which is a bit of a bummer, but it does have Windows Hello Face Unlock. It uses this 1080p Surface Studio camera with IR sensors, and it just works. And the camera quality is actually great for meetings, and it supports all those Copilot Plus studio effects. And that's all, Microsoft has actually nailed the display on this laptop. It's a 15-inch 2.5K 120Hz panel and it even has adaptive color and contrast, which is just a fancy way of saying true tone for Windows. It's also bright at 600 nits, it's sharp, it's got Dolby Vision. It's not OLED, yes, but like the MacBooks, it's a great looking screen. But here's the kick. The one thing that makes it better than the Mac display, you can touch it. And we all love touching. I mean, yes, this is a touchscreen and I actually find it super useful for scrolling, and a lot of our editors were toying with dragging layers in Photoshop, so pretty good. And then there's the speakers, they're actually hidden under the keyboard. I know what you're thinking, why did no one else think of this? And these speakers are loud and clear, and again, don't cancel me, but definitely better than my M4 Air. Look, are the speakers as good as the 16-inch MacBook Pro? Well, not really, I mean, let's be real. But these are actually really good for a Windows laptop. Okay, so now let's get real. See, on the surface, subscribe for more bad jokes, this looks like a Mac and this feels like a Mac, but the bigger question is, does it perform like a Mac? Because that's like the holy grail, right? Well, this actually has the Snapdragon X Elite chipset, 16GB RAM, 256GB storage. Yep, they copied Apple on that part too. And what good news is, you can actually open it up and you can swap the tiny SSD and yeah, take notes, Tim. Having said that, in benchmarks, Satya Bhai should take notes because the X Elite is good, it's solid, but it's no match to the M4, be it in CPU or GPU tests. Now I know benchmarks aren't everything, and this is one smooth and nice performing laptop. And for someone like me who's mostly researching, scripting, attending meetings, it hasn't failed me. I mean, I've had over 20 Chrome tabs, Slack, Notion, Apple Music always playing in the background, and I haven't come across any lags. I mean, I did come across this Chrome not responding error once, but it hasn't resurfaced, so sorry, subscribe for more bad jokes. We even tried making a few thumbnails in Photoshop, it handled it all like a champ. But editing videos, that's where it kind of is okay. I've tried it in Premiere Pro and the performance was very decentish at best. I mean, it's still running on emulation, although it's been announced that Premiere Pro native support is coming, so it'll get better, but I'm not sure it'll match a MacBook because You know how it is, even the Air can handle tasks like video editing. Also, since it's ARM, there's always the doubts around app compatibility, and I know what you're thinking. Why go through all of that hassle? Well, check out the battery life. So the Surface Book has a 66 watt battery, which I know sounds okay, but forget about numbers. We've been easily getting 8 to 10 hours of real, actual usage. I mean, on lighter days, we've even pushed it for a day and a half, which is just insane. So this is it. This is MacBook level battery life on a Windows laptop. That is what we wanted, right? And charging, yes, it takes about an hour and a half, and yes, it has MagSafe. I mean, it's the Surface Connect port or the Microsoft Connect port, I don't know. But it snaps magnetically, and it's so satisfying. Yeah, it is MagSafe. And you know what? The 65 watt power brick even has an extra USB-A port, so yeah, Microsoft can be thoughtful. And ports, it's got 2 USB 4 Type-C ports, a headphone jack, a microSD card reader, and a usual USB-A port. Yeah, your M4 Air could never. Plus, it's running a super clean version of Windows 11, no bloatware, no McAfee pop-ups, just plain Windows. So the big question is this it? Is this finally that Windows laptop that actually competes and beats the MacBooks? I mean, in so many ways, actually, yes. I mean, you gotta give it to them. Thanks to the already existing MacBooks, they knew what they had to make. Heck, they even made a lot of things better and solved one of the biggest problems by actually giving Windows on an almost MacBook-like hardware. I mean, the build, the trackpad, the speakers, the touchscreen, the ports, and the battery life, it's all great. Obviously, there's the catch, the performance, the app compatibility, and that's what's holding it back, especially when you're spending 1.25 lakhs, which is a lot higher compared to a MacBook Air, more in line with the Pro. And at that price is where it becomes a bit of a tough sell. But honestly, I'm hopeful because this is like the closest experience I've got, you know, if you think about an Apple Windows experience. And with the next-gen Snapdragon chips, the X2 Elite Extreme, which is set to be bringing M4 Max levels of performance, the future does seem bright. But yes, there's one thing. Satya bhai, if you're listening, just price it around 80-90K and see this go boom.
Now one last try. Let's try it.
And if you want to see your subscriptions feed go boom, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.